Okay.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Whatever you say.
I'd like to officially call this meeting of the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to order for Thursday, September 25th. Please join us for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Rayner, if you'll lead us in prayer.
Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the changing of the seasons. We could all be here today. We ask for your guidance in our meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And roll call, please.
Commissioner Stacy?
Here.
Commissioner Zoller?
Here.
Commissioner White?
I'm here.
We'll have the signing of the journal, and I accept a motion to approve the DVD recording from the previous session from Thursday, September 18th, and the index.
I'll move.
Seconded.
Motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Thank you. Any adjustments to the agenda? Anyone wants to add new, old business, otherwise?
I kind of like to have an update on how we're doing over at the RTA building.
Okay. And under new, I'll give a brief update on the ODOT open house I went to yesterday. Alright. Old business, on the RTA, do you have any kind of an update from them? Other than they told me they weren't running the jackhammers quite so much in the meeting yesterday, so.
They started on the Market Street door yesterday morning, and they're putting, and Dean kind of explained it, they're putting some sort of plates in and with a groove in. I'm not a construction, so I'm not sure.
Looks like in the front, are they gonna slope it out or something? Is that?
That's kind of what Dean described it. They had to put some sort of a plate in there, that way they can get, they're trying to get it to go away from the building, but somehow it's going underneath the sidewalk, so into the system. I don't know how they're.
Any of the runoff, the water and that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
yep.
Okay.
So, and I know they're down in regional planning's area, they got some of the stuff tore out and they're working down there too, so.
Okay.
Don't have a big update from Lenny yet, so.
Okay. Well, we can touch base with them maybe.
Mhm.
It'd be interesting when it's all said and done that have him come in and just kind of give a overview of
Yeah,
how well he thinks it
went.
went and if he's seen some severe leakage areas that or if he's just kind of shooting in the dark. And let's face it, that, you know, we don't really know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm
now
sure
that
if
he's got
something
a
was-
more intense look at it, he may have a little different feeling. He may say, oh, God, I found what the problem is, and man, this is gonna be in good shape, or, hey, I'm just shooting in the dark. Yeah, I don't know. So I think that would be helpful for us to know that.
I'm hoping since we haven't heard from him, that's a good
No
sign.
news is good news. I like the philosophy of how it works.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Well, maybe we can touch base with him at the end of the week or the beginning of next week. and
Okay.
Just tell him when he gets a chance, give us an update on, he thinks, yeah, plus I feel like, I think he's
Finding
halfway
way-
through, yeah, not gonna be a long time, what, be curious to know. Good point. We had the airport listed here under old business.
Yes, back when they were doing the project, they were cleaning out a bunch of trees, and some of the landowners around the area were concerned about the runoff, and the county went out and kind of stopped them because of, and I don't know what it means. They put up a silt fence, and they had to do some temporary seeding
Yep.
because we stopped the project. Well, we got a bill and a cost of what that has cost us to, because now we were allowed to move forward. I've got a bill for almost $8,000 because they had to do all this temporary stuff because we stopped the project until the Corps of Engineers and all those people got involved.
Who did we get the bill from? Chevrolet?
Land and Lakes, that's the one that was taking care of it, that's the one that was doing it.
They were doing the removal.
Yeah,
Yeah, the trees, so then they couldn't just walk away, they had to
yeah.
do something. Have you talked to Brad about that at all?
He dropped it off.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
he did see it?
Yes,
Okay, I just didn't know if he
Yeah.
came directly here or not, okay.
No, and we have a purchase order open for, Tiffin Airport stuff that we could use and not have to appropriate anything, but if, that'll take our purchase order down to about $1,700 left for the rest of the year. Which if he doesn't have any projects, we'll be fine.
Yeah,
After those catch basins that
Yep.
you consider those two?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, because she had enough on the purchase order for that too.
I think I would get with Brad on that. I mean, and I know it's a kind of a difficult situation here, but if, as long as we can do it with existing appropriations, then I'm okay with pay for it. But that means that for the remainder of the year, Brad, you gotta, if you got things you were planning on doing this year that were gonna come to us, I think you need to push those into next year kind of thing. Now, if he's saying, no, there's things that I still need to do, then I think we need to talk with him on some kind of negotiated payment there and not to pay the whole thing. I mean, we're kind of caught in the middle of it because it's our airport, but yet it's his land that was being cleared, but it's federal money or taxpayers' money, so I mean, it's a little convoluted, and I'm okay to pay for it, as long as we can do it with existing appropriations. If it's anything further than that, then I think we need to discuss with Brad and see if we can come up with a negotiated thing. So that would be my opinion on
yeah,
how to handle it.
And this is work that's already done,
Yes.
correct? This is
Yeah.
not new work.
yeah.
I'm sure what they did is they gave Brad the bill, and Brad felt it was our responsibility, so he gave it to us. I mean, that would be my assumption there.
Right. Right, all right.
So I'll talk to him and let him know that's what we got available for the rest of the year and see if he's anticipating.
Yeah, anything else in there?
We I want to say that home, we appraised that again,
Yeah.
so it's hard to tell what will happen there.
I mean, you guys know my feelings on that, and I know it's not any, this is federal money that's gonna buy the house, but I still just think it's just insane to tear a house down. If we could buy it, put deed restrictions in there, and then sell the house, it is a net benefit to taxpayers, even though it may be federal, we're all taxpayers. I mean, I just feel very strongly about that tear that house down, because there's trees in the backyard affected. If we buy it, put a deed restriction in there, sell it back, or however that you can legally do it, so that it can remain a home for somebody, and seems to be the way to do it versus tear a darn house down because the trees in the backyard are within certain airport requirements.
I think Derek kind of addressed that in an email that I think I forwarded to you guys about when it was negotiated with FAA, that all of our previous projects, including this project, were negotiated with tearing it down.
With an understanding of tearing it down.
So, I mean, because I asked him about the deed restrictions, and he said, you know, it's possible, but when we negotiated all the properties for that area, it was with the intent to tear it down. But, I mean, we can always do something different, just
Right.
make sure we check with Brad and FAA, make sure that's not an actual part of the contract.
Right.
We'll find
I
out.
might review that again, I wanna see that again.
Okay.
Anything else for old business? Yeah. Okay, we'll move to new business. I'm just gonna do this ODEP thing now, because I always tend to forget, because I read in the bottom of the paper, they just had an open house for their, covering over their program years for the four years, actually 14, which 14's finished, they are physically in, as of July 1, in their fiscal year 2015. And so it was just it was a nice format to see the map. I brought one back for each of you. I have a pretty map, and it's all color coded on the work. You can see the work done in that dark blue is the stuff that's from July 1st to June 30th of next year. Going for the files.
So what's where the stars at? Is that where they're planning on doing some projects?
The stars are bridge culvert projects. And then and color coded just as at the legend at the top here. And then the straight line is the if pavement projects. So as they've got 224 already marked here in the red because that's what's happening now. There was a culvert out there. 18, there we go. 18 is slated as a new one for, unless it's been done, I don't think so, but between July 1st, between now and the end of June, there's a pavement project for there. There's a,
What's this?
that is slated for fiscal year 2017, the yellow dash line, that section of 18 going north out of Republic. So anyway, just information that they're sharing to kind of what they're programming, because they have only so many dollars they program out and try to, and it gets adjusted as we get closer to, and projects get done and that kind of thing too, but other information they share. So that's it on that. Start with the bill vouchers.
Okay, I got bill vouchers 95 through 100. I have a resolution for appropriation adjustment within the general fund, moving $5,000 from equipment to salaries, $5,000 between equipment and advertising, $1,500 between equipment and PERS, and $2,500 from van supplies to regular supplies for total moved $14,000. This is at the request of Veteran Services, and they're talking about supplies, advertising, and one of their employees met a threshold for a raise, so that's what the additional salaries is for. I have a supplement to the permit appropriation to the general fund for 2014, putting $30,956.94 into salaries, $1,800 into contract services, $448.88 into Medicare, $6,128.97 into PERS for a total of $39,334.79. And this again, like last week, we had one of this common police courts come over last week, and we did one, and then this week we have common police court 1. So what they do is take money out of their special projects line, special revenue line, and transfer it to the general fund for the magistrate's portion of the allowable cost. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the clerk's computer research fund, 148, putting $2,000 into contract services. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the VAP court costs and miscellaneous fund, 138, putting $150 into supplies. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the VOCA expansion project fund, 158, putting $28,000 into salaries, $1,200 into supplies, $1,825 in equipment, $865 into contract services, $700 into travel, $1,325 into other expense, $415 into Medicare, $3,850 into PERS, $4,903.08 into hospitalization, total $43,083.08. She has her other VOCA fund, putting $1,100 into salaries, $1,215 into contract services, $700 into travel, $30 into Medicare, $180 into PERS for a total of $3,225. Her cycle runs, her grants run mid-year to mid-year, so this is reappropriating for her new year. I have a resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment within the Bascom New Regal Bond Fund, 231, putting $1,000 into note interest line, or from note interest line to note principal line. I have a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into a food service agreement with North Central Academy on behalf of the Seneca County Sheriff's Office, retroactive to September 5th. I have a resolution appointing Penny Eastep to the Facility Governing Board for Crossway for a 3-year term. Looks like the term begins on November 10th, 2014 and expire November 11th, 2017. I have a resolution amending Journal 89, page 358, regarding declaring 2014 dog license fees. This is what we did last year, July. We had to set the 1 year, the 3 year, and the permanent for the dog licenses. One of the sentences in the resolution led the auditor's office to believe that this was just set for 2014. So basically, all we're doing, we're amending this to say beginning in 2014. So until we decide to change fees, we don't have to keep redoing the resolution. It says it in the rest of the resolution, but they wanted it clarified, and so all we did is add the beginning in 2014. Nothing new. I have a resolution authorizing an amendment for the 4D service contract for the Seneca County Clerk of Courts on behalf of the Seneca County Department of Job and Family Services. And I think that's it.
Okay.
Move we approve.
Seconded.
Motion is second to approve the resolutions as presented. Any comments, questions?
One comment, one question. We do thank the judges for helping us save some money in the general fund and moving some of their special projects around. They've done that for a number of years, and we're thankful for that. The question I had was in the dog licensing. How did that work out? We changed that to accommodate state law last year. The state law changed.
Yep.
And I know she was worried about collecting permanent licenses and then that money being used before the time. Did we get many permanent licenses purchased? Do you have any idea?
She did a annual or a semi-annual update.
Okay.
I think she's got those numbers in that. There wasn't that many
I
that
can't-
actually did a permanent.
I can't believe many people would, but
No.
I didn't know how that.
Yeah, she's got a report that she sent us, I think, July, just to,
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
most of the dog licenses are sold December, so she knows pretty well what she sold. I don't think there was very many. I'm thinking it was under a dozen.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, because the fear is that we get all that money the first year, and then in future years,
Yeah. Nothing.
there wouldn't be any income coming into that. And
Yep. Yep.
But if it's under a dozen, that's.
That's
Yeah.
insignificant.
But I think that's what she had told me before. But I can check with her just to make sure, just to see. It's curious to know what people are interested in doing.
Yeah. That's all I had.
Anything else? No, roll call please.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Zoller,
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy.
Yes. Approved, thank you. All right. Guess leaves us to citizens' comments. Anybody have any comments or for the good of the order? Be quiet today. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Well, no, Holly, one thing I'd like to discuss here is usually sometime at the end of the third quarter, first of the fourth quarter, we talk about appropriating some funds for the Justice Center project. And we're kind of at that period now, and I think that I'd like to make a recommendation that we appropriate. I would like to see $350. What did we budget for it? Did we budget $3 or $350?
We didn't put anything in the budget
No,
itself.
not,
I thought there was a line that we had in there for,
I don't think there was any budget amount. That would all just have to come out of carryover.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't put anything in the budget, I'm sure of
No.
that.
we didn't, and when we did the budget, there wasn't
nope.
a figure in there?
There's money, but it's already current funds that you've already given. 215 is over there, but we didn't know the amount you guys wanted to give, and you guys said you would talk about it at the end of the year.
Do it by when we got,
Okay.
yeah, I just
Well, I
mentioned
mean,
last
now
week, I said
maybe
it's
a
getting
good
close to
time to-
October, we ought to do that.
Yeah, I mean, now may be a good time to to kind of discuss that,
Sure.
what other people are thinking there and so forth. I'd like to continue to pigeonhole some money there so that once a decision is made that we go forward, that, you know, we got some money there. And
Did we do 300 last year? We did
I think it was 300,
last year?
I think it was 350, the previous commissioners did it, we did 300.
I think it was 4 and 3.
4 and 3.
4 and 3.
Was it? Was it?
7. We got, I think there's 700 there now. So,
I would make a recommendation, you know, because we're ahead this year on revenue. Expenses are running just about online to where they were. I would make a recommendation, we try to look at 350 this year.
Do we need to have a resolution drafted before we do that, or?
Yeah, we can get one ready if you guys are agreeing on 350 or want time to think about it, we could.
I am comfortable with that, because I was
Yeah.
looking at that last
Yeah,
week and,
yeah.
and talking to Stacy about it, and thinking we had to put that in place by the time we got to October, if not before, so I'm fine with that.
that's a satisfactory number. Right now, the current unappropriated balance is about 1.2 and change. That will go, we've drawn the sheriff's already, given him his extra. Do you know of any other?
I'm not sure if that was out of that, though, because I was looking at the date of that, and I wasn't sure. if
It might not be out of that?
I didn't know if that was out of there.
But we've got
But-
about 300, 400 sitting out and money already receipted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be
Insurance
a reappropriation at some point. I mean, what do they call that,
Certification.
recertification at some point.
Yeah.
A 350 is okay with me.
Yeah.
It's gonna take us below the million for a while, but we'll probably be back up there for the end of the year.
I mean, again, I look at the economy still on a, you know, it's still looking good. If the economy was different, going the other way, then I would be much more conservative, but in times like this, I think we can be a little aggressive on that and keep pigeonholing that money. That would put us, just a little over a million, 50,000 towards that, so.
Yeah.
So if we're in agreement, we could,
Yeah.
Get that ready for next.
I love the idea of saving money for future projects. I think that's just good, prudent planning. That's what we did with the youth center, and it worked out very well. And we don't have to decide the project yet or what it looks
Yeah,
like. We're
yeah,
just
no.
putting money towards it.
Yeah.
we haven't decided the date. We haven't, although I think we're all in agreement that someday we gotta do something.
Right.
Now, so that's what we're doing, is trying to pigeonhole some money. And again, that money is available in a catastrophic situation. If we find out that something come up that we needed, that we could pull it from that account, it's still in our control, correct?
Yes.
I think it would take a court order or not.
Well,
Depends.
we're thinking more of the line of since it's in the, anything big's gonna be out of 215 anyway.
Uh-huh.
Any,
It's in 250.
Yes,
Yeah,
capital
yeah,
improvement.
Okay, we can,
So unless-
yeah, you're right.
unless we wanted to use it for salaries, then we'd have to take it out, but other than that, we wouldn't have to, it would all stay in there, we just move the line, but right now, we're not
Great.
touching it, we're just leaving it.
It's kind of
in.
earmarked for that, but
Yeah.
it's still got our fingertips on it if we absolutely
Absolutely.
positively need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I guess since we're talking budget, I don't know if anybody's mentioned to you, next year's gonna be our 27 pay next year. So, the perception is gonna be all the salaries are gonna go up. It won't go up much because it's only an additional pay, but just wanted to remind
Well,
you.
that'd be
So I was
about
working on
300,000.
paperwork.
Yeah, it's just the way
Yeah.
the timing falls
Yeah.
on the Fridays.
So-
So we
this
go
year
from
will
the
be-
26 pay to 27 pay next year.
Shoot,
Yep.
that's the year I won't be here. Yeah.
We'll think of it.
So the
We'll send
perception
we'll
will
send you a
be.
paycheck as zero. Void.
Yeah. Just keep you thinking about it.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Citizens or otherwise? Motion.
Yeah, I have a little bit concern. You talk about the joint court facility and so forth. That sounds good, and it might be good, but I think everybody better use a little caution in saying, okay, we got a portion of this building, the county, city got a portion of this building. Who's responsible for the upkeep of that portion, and how is it gonna be determined? In other words,
That's
Well, Delmer, I think that Commissioner Stacy and the mayor and our prosecutor and law director are working on those issues.
yeah, they better
That
be.
at some day, the study determined that it made sense to combine sources. Now, the study didn't determine location or anything but to combine city and county government. So there is some legal issues as far as maintenance and
Maintenance is what I was
upkeep.
thinking
And
about.
Yeah.
leasing and renting and all of that, yeah,
Yeah.
there's things in the code can be done and can't be done in a number of years, so, yeah, we're looking at all of that, because there's, the devil's in the details, and there's a lot of little
Right,
details
right.
in working through if a joint justice center is the project that 100% moves forward in
Yeah.
that way with the two.
But I was thinking in terms of, okay, say the city would have a third of the building and the county would have 2/3 of the building. Okay, there's a roof over the whole thing. Okay, the city says, okay, I'm gonna let my roof go. And then all of a sudden it seeps in and goes over in the county side. Who the heck's
Yeah,
gonna be
well,
responsible for it?
Well, that's
or
exactly
vice
what
versa.
we kind of talked about, you know, based on courtrooms, those kinds of things. What if something happens in the one courtroom and it's the municipality versus ours, you know, but still, it's the overall building, so that's why we have to be careful
Yeah,
how we
you-
look into this
Yeah,
outline.
there is a system that the county uses now, it's called is it Maximus?
Maximus.
Okay, which basically it's an independent agency. We have a lot of buildings that have shared by multi-government agencies, depending on where they get their revenue. And this group called Maximus, an independent agency, they evaluate all the costs that go into that building on an annual basis. And then they regurgitate to us, and based on certain criteria, if it's square footage or
Yeah.
how it is, they come back to us and say, this office should be this much cost, that they have to pay those, so this office is this much. Now, if it's a general fund account, well, we're saying that's how much, but we gotta pay it and we get it back. But there are, again, some what do you call that?
General fund.
Non-general fund accounts.
Yeah.
And so there is a system in place that the government uses to be able to effectively assess the cost of that, and that's through Maximus.
Well, what I was thinking about is the agreement today better be pretty well protected for tomorrow, or the next day and the day after, you know, the future.
Right. Yes,
And so,
yeah.
I mean,
And that was our concern, we started talking, we said, you know, we don't want to be strapping, you know, the city and county, you know, folks down the road when we're all gone, you know, that with whatever, you know, we got to make sure it's outlined and very, you know, clearly understood,
I
responsibilities.
figure being around for a few hundred years yet, so maybe
We'll
I
make
can
sure it's
keep
good.
track. Okay.
We'll
No,
put you in charge
the
of
only,
one.
there's one place that I know of in Bucyrus that they have city has something to do with some part of their court building there. I think it's the old part of the building in Crawford County. I don't know how they resolve it, but I'm pretty sure that that's the way it is, that the city courts and the county courthouse are combined, but I don't know what their agreements are on that thing.
Yeah.
And I think the city's got the old portion of it and not the new portion, as far as I remember now. But that's what I was thinking about, you know,
Yeah.
down the road, somebody can say, yeah, we know, you know, gotta be something concrete there that makes daggone sure that
Yeah,
it's, the city doesn't get stung or the county doesn't get stung.
exactly, it's got to be fair to both, so, thank you. No further business, a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned, 10:28, thank you.